Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. My name is Mikey, and today we're going to be talking about gem mining in old school RuneScape. So if we go up the ladder here, I want to show you where we're at. We're on Karamja right now in Shilo Village, and if you are 40 mining, you can mine these gemstones, and you can bank them here in Shilo Village. Well, generally this spot is overridden by bots, or usually one person per world can be here, so it gets filled up on all the worlds pretty quickly, because it is a pretty cool thing to do. Now, for someone in my situation, which I'm going to talk about, as a mid-level account, just teetering on the edge of high level, I would say, I would call this a mid to high level account. Generally, your stuff you have to raise for quests and stuff, and for conveniency is really expensive. Getting 70 herb lore, 70 prayer, all these things I did fast. I did smithing fast once I could do gold bars on blast furnace. So I'm kind of out of cash, and eventually, at some point, you have to do a money-making grind, and unfortunately, I don't have the money or the gear to be able to get these up for, Zulrah or Vorkath. So I need to kind of build a base bank to get me gear so I can start doing that stuff. So this is what I decided to do, and this is mining. So this is gem mining. So if you get the Karamja hard diary done, you get Karamja gloves 3, which teleport you exactly right here. The recommended gear setup, I do recommend this mine because this is by far the best way to mine gems. The recommended setup is you have to at least have an Amulet of Glory and the best pickaxe you can use. Obviously the Dragon Pickaxe is the best, and I would also go for the 4 Prospector pieces because it gives you a 2% or a 2.5% experience boost. So I'm going to show you the run real quick and exactly how I do this, and then at the end I can talk about some analytics that I found, and we might even do a couple runs just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, so when you spawn here, you're going to see a bank deposit box, and you can put stuff in here like this. Pretty easy. Obviously, you just want to click this. Don't accidentally click this because then you're going to have to run to the bank and get your stuff. I haven't done that yet, but I've assumed I will at one point because I've been kind of doing it AFK, and you'll see how I do that here. Okay, so we'll go to our first rock. I go left of the deposit chest and I special attack. And then I'm going to smash all these rocks. So I just go clockwise, around this room. And you can see we're getting 66 to 67 experience per ore mined. Now you can see for me, I think this will change based on your mining level, and obviously, well, it will change, not I think, but I don't know quite how much more efficient it gets at higher levels. But at 75 to 77 or to 80 because of my boost, generally what I've been finding is you can generally expect the second hit to mine the rocks. Obviously, of course, you get in the first hit sometimes and like that, and other times, it takes a few game ticks to be able to gather your gem. And I'm going to talk about the gems we get at the end, but this is the path I take. I kind of have a special sequence I go through, but I've already done this quite a few times now. So it's kind of just gotten into habit. Now what I did before this for mining was I just went to Motherlode mine. I power mined iron and dropped it many moons ago, way before I even came back to old school. I don't even remember what I did it for. And then I went straight to Motherlode and I cranked 75 mining out at Motherlode, getting Prospector, Coal Bag, all that stuff. So I'm kind of comparing this to Motherlode. Obviously, the most efficient way to mine for XP is 3-tick granite at this level. Probably getting around 90 to 100k experience an hour, but I will not 3-tick. I'm not that caliber of a player yet. I'm not willing to do that to myself. I feel like it would take the enjoyment out of the game. I'm a casual player, so I make these guides for people like me who want to make substantial progress, but at the same time be able to do it in either an AFK way or be able to do it in a semi-AFK way or in just an acceptable way where you're just controlling, you're not using tick manipulation and other stuff like that. So we just did a full inventory, and generally each inventory takes me 2 minutes, and we can bank it right here. We'll do one more just so I can show you the XP per hour. Right now, it's showing at about 53,000 experience per hour, as you can see right here. I'm using the RuneLite client, so it's telling me exactly the XP per hour, and obviously OS Buddy and stuff has that too. So this is with paying attention. I'll be completely honest with you. Right now at 55, it's definitely much higher than it was at 80 mining than it is, or is much higher at 80 mining than it was at 75. I think it's just because it takes on average less ticks to mine the ore, and I'm curious to know, and I don't have an account that's higher or anything. This is my main. I don't know if 99 mining or something would benefit you here in terms of being able to gather these gems in like one tick off the rocks. That would make it substantially faster, and probably I would assume now boost you up to maybe around 60k per hour. If you're tick perfect, I'm not going to start talking like that, but if you're paying attention and you're not wasting time between actions. So yeah, we're gonna finish this second inventory, and you can obviously look at the time on the videos, but generally I've done many tests on this myself, and it's usually around, each trip for an inventory is around 2 minutes. So if you were perfect during an hour, you could generally expect to do 30 trips, and we will use that in our calculations in a minute here. So if you're kind of AFK, or if you're sort of paying attention, maybe just adjust for that. Maybe say, okay, instead of 30 trips an hour, which is already really hard, I struggled to get that at my mining level, as well as paying attention. You're kind of right on the dot of 2 minutes each time. So if you're kind of just like casually going about it, I'm not even super attentive here. I'm more so worried about what I'm saying. But you can generally expect maybe to get 25 to 26 inventories an hour. All right, so we'll get these last few ores. And then we're gonna stand right here and we're gonna start talking about the numbers. So as you can see, it ends up being around 52, so it's dropping. It's gonna be around 52k an hour, at least from my experience at around 77 mining to 80 mining, 75 to 80 mining. I got the same results of around 51k XP an hour, which is pretty good. AFK at Motherlode mine at my level, or just, you know, same amount of paying attention. Of course, it is a little more AFK when you're actually mining, but you're still switching walls and having to go bank ore and, you know, fix the thing. Anyways, I was getting about 40k an hour here, so I'm getting about 11k more XP an hour. As well as we're going to talk about the cash from this. So what you can get from these is you can get uncut opals, uncut jades, sapphires, rubies, emeralds, and this uncut red topaz. And this is obviously where most of your money is coming from. So I would say this is a pretty substandard inventory. You got a lot of opals and a lot of jades, and you can see that I made 25k on that inventory. Now, I have had some inventories that are like 45k, 50k with a bunch of these red topazes, and I've had a bunch that are lower. I've had a bunch that were lower than 28k. But on the wiki, it makes the statement that each gem is worth like 990 gold pieces on average. That's just with the math, and that is pretty close to correct with the current price of uncut red topazes being around 4.67k. Or 4.6 to 4.7k. So yeah, it's generally around 28k a load if you have, you know, full inventory. So we can do a little math here. I can pop this out right here, this little calculator. Oh, this is not an actual calculator. I forgot about that. This is reminding me back to my OS Buddy days. So I'm actually gonna pull a calculator up on my phone, and you can do this as well to kind of manipulate where you want to be doing this in terms of how many trips an hour. Let's say you're paying somewhat close attention. You get 27 trips per hour at 28k per trip. That is 756k per hour, which is a pretty standard moneymaker. So generally at our level, I'm trying to talk to people that are around my level, 750k an hour is pretty solid. And yes, there are more profitable ways, obviously. Being able to do Zora efficiently, being able to do raids or raids 2, this is not for those people. This is just talking about specific mining thing that you can do to 99 potentially that has good experience and is also, or I would say very mediocre experience, but also decent money. And 750k an hour is, you know, obviously it's like 750 to 800k an hour if you're, you know, perfect and you get 30 trips an hour, or 30 trips in an hour. And if you get a little lucky on RNG, you might be able to tip over that, but you could also tip under it. So let's assume 750k an hour with 51k experience points. It's gone down because I was AFK talking to you guys, but it's definitely a solid method. So it's faster than getting 99 at Motherlode Mine. I estimated that from here, I'm going to be spending a little over 200 hours if I were to go all the way to 99 from 77. So yeah, I don't know if I'll crank that all out. I don't think I will, but this is something that's really perfect because it's substantial money and it's quick. So this is perfect for you mobile users who might have a class that starts, you might get to class 20 minutes early, boom, you could make a few 100K, you know, throw a farm run in there and then just jump to this and do a few rounds of this. I really like this because of how quick and, you know, obviously the Karamja gloves, it's unlimited teleports. And I guess I could have just worn them, but I took them off and banked them. But yeah, you get here instantly. It takes 2 minutes per inventory approximately at my mining, if you're around my mining level, and you can make some quick cash and there's no investment other than the D pick. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm glad you guys came by today, and I hope you guys check some of my other old school RuneScape videos out, and there's more coming in the future. I enjoy making these and kind of just talking about what I'm doing in RuneScape. I'm going to start doing this a little more, maybe make a series accounting my main progress, more so just for me to be able to keep track of how far I've gone, how much experience I've gained. But yeah, I really like this method. Like, for example, we can test this inventory. It's around 27K. It's a pretty okay inventory. So we did get a lot of opals, and opals are not worth a lot. So yeah, it's definitely a fun thing to do. I think it's actually decent mining XP. The only things that are going to be better are very click intensive, like Blast Mine is going to be better experience at this level for sure. Maybe 10 to 15 to 20K more, but it's very click intensive, and it's going to be similar. It's going to actually be less GP per hour. So this is kind of like your best GP per hour. It's a lot more GP per hour than Motherlode Mine, and it's faster. So if you're willing to put in a little more click effort, I think it's definitely worth it. And this is exactly how I'm going to build up a little bit of a starter bank to start to be able to chip away, maybe get some Slayer gear, or maybe grind up my magic and my range so that I'm able to boss more effectively and get to the money makers that are a couple mil an hour, because this is a little shy of a mil an hour. This is 750K an hour. So this beats gargoyles. I mean, maybe not in max gear at max stats, you know, it beats gargoyles by money per hour. It beats AFKing wyverns. Obviously you don't have the chance at a rare drop, but that's usually taken into account with hourly pay, and like wyverns are usually 500K flat, and if you stayed long enough for a Visi, it's probably going to go over it, maybe to 550K an hour. I don't know, depending on your RNG. But if your RNG is normal, then, you know, this is a consistent moneymaker, with red topaz being the price that they are. Obviously, it's almost all based upon the price of these red topazes. I know at one point they were over 5K. This would have been awesome to do then, and I'm sure a lot of people did. And if they keep dropping lower, it's going to become less and less viable. If this method hit like 500K an hour, 400K an hour, it would start it would get very iffy, I think. So if it's 750K an hour though, I definitely think that this is something that you could totally use. All right, so have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.